Poor circulation doesn't usually announce itself. It builds slowly through years of daily inactivity, and by the time you notice it, cold hands, swelling in your ankles by evening, numbness in your feet when you've been sitting too long, it's already been developing quietly in the background for a while. The good news is that circulation responds well to small, consistent habits. Today I'm walking you through 10 small habits that genuinely support healthy blood flow, one at a time, and explaining exactly why each one works and how to build it into your day starting now. I'm Dr. William, and this matters more after 60 because blood vessels naturally lose some elasticity with age. Valves in your leg veins can weaken over time, and long stretches of inactivity, which tend to increase somewhat with age, all work against circulation in ways they didn't when you were younger. None of that means decline is inevitable. It means these small habits carry more weight now than they did decades ago. Let's go through the list. 1. Take short walking breaks hourly. When you sit for long stretches, blood tends to pool in your lower legs, since the muscles that normally help pump blood back up toward your heart, particularly your calf muscles, stay inactive. Getting up and walking, even briefly, reactivates what's sometimes called your second heart. The calf muscle pump, which squeezes the veins in your lower legs and pushes blood back upward with every step. How to use it: set a simple timer or phone reminder for once an hour. You don't need a long walk. 2 or 3 minutes around the room or down the hallway is enough to interrupt the pooling and get blood moving again. 2. Elevate your legs in the evening. By the end of the day, especially after hours of sitting or standing fluid, and blood can accumulate in your lower legs and feet due to gravity. Elevating your legs above the level of your heart uses gravity in the opposite direction, helping fluid and blood drain back toward your core more easily. How to use it: in the evening, lie down and prop your legs up on a couple of pillows, or use a recliner that lifts your feet for 15 to 20 minutes. This is a simple, passive habit that many people notice reduces evening swelling in their ankles. 3. Stay consistently hydrated. Blood is largely water, and when you're mildly dehydrated, your blood becomes thicker and more concentrated, making it harder for your heart to circulate it efficiently. Older adults are also more prone to underhydrating, partly because the sensation of thirst naturally becomes less reliable with age. How to use it: rather than waiting until you feel thirsty, build in regular check-ins, a glass of water with each meal and one in between, as a simple, consistent target throughout the day. 4. Avoid crossing your legs for long periods. Crossing your legs, especially for extended periods, puts direct pressure on the blood vessels behind your knee, temporarily restricting blood flow to your lower leg and foot. Done occasionally for a few minutes, this isn't a major concern, but doing it habitually for long stretches while watching TV, for example, adds up. How to use it: if you tend to cross your legs out of habit, try setting a mental cue to uncross and shift position every 20 to 30 minutes, or keep your feet flat on the floor or on a footrest instead. 5. Wear compression socks if recommended. Compression socks apply gentle, graduated pressure to your lower legs, tighter at the ankle and gradually looser moving up toward the knee. This pressure gradient helps support the veins in pushing blood back up toward the heart, particularly useful for anyone who deals with swelling, varicose veins, or spends long periods sitting or standing. How to use it: if your doctor has recommended compression socks, or if you notice regular evening swelling, a moderate compression pair worn during the day is a reasonable habit. Check with your doctor first if you have any circulation-related diagnoses, since the right compression level varies by individual. 6. Stretch your calves daily. Your calf muscles play a central role in pushing blood back up from your legs and keeping them flexible and active supports that pumping function. Calf stretches also help maintain range of motion in your ankles, which matters for walking comfortably and steadily. How to use it: a simple daily calf stretch, standing with your hands against a wall, one leg back with the heel pressed to the floor, held for 20 to 30 seconds on each side, is enough to build into a short daily routine alongside a few ankle circles. 7. Avoid smoking. Smoking damages the lining of your blood vessels directly, contributes to the buildup of arterial plaque, and causes blood vessels to constrict, all of which actively work against healthy circulation. This is one of the most well-established, heavily researched circulation risks on this list, and quitting, even later in life, produces measurable improvement in blood vessel function over time. How to use it? If you smoke, talk to your doctor about a quitting plan that fits your situation, nicotine replacement, medication support, or a structured program. It's genuinely one of the highest impact changes for circulation at any age. 8. Manage blood pressure consistently. Blood pressure and circulation are closely connected. Chronically high blood pressure damages blood vessel walls over time, contributing to stiffening and reduced flexibility, while blood pressure that's well managed supports healthier, more responsive blood vessels throughout your body, including in your extremities. How to use it? If you're on blood pressure medication, take it consistently as prescribed and monitor your numbers at home if your doctor recommends it. Combine this with the other habits on this list, since diet, movement, and hydration all directly support healthy blood pressure as well. 9. Eat circulation-supporting foods like beets and citrus. Beets are naturally rich in dietary nitrates, which your body converts into nitric oxide, a compound that helps relax and widen blood vessels, supporting easier blood flow. Citrus fruits are rich in vitamin C and flavonoids, plant compounds studied for supporting the health and flexibility of blood vessel walls. How to use it? A few servings of beets a week, roasted, in a salad, or as juice, along with regular citrus fruit, is a simple way to build these into your existing meals rather than treating them as a separate supplement. Chin. Get up and move during long sitting periods. This ties directly back to habit 1, but it deserves its own emphasis because it's the habit most people quietly ignore during activities that naturally involve long sitting. A movie, a long car ride, a lengthy family gathering at the table. The mechanism is the same. Without muscle movement, blood pools and circulation slows. How to use it? Build in deliberate movement breaks during naturally long-sitting activities, standing up during a commercial break, stopping for a short walk on a long drive, or simply standing and stretching for a minute or two during a long conversation or gathering. Putting it together. None of these 10 habits require special equipment, a gym membership, or a dramatic change to your daily routine. What they have in common is that each one, on its own, makes a small difference, and together, done consistently, they add up to meaningfully better circulation over time. You don't need to adopt all 10 at once. Pick 2 or 3 that fit naturally into your current routine, build them in as habits over the next few weeks, and layer in more once those feel automatic. A real example, I worked with a patient I'll call Walter, 71, who came in concerned about cold feet and mild swelling in his ankles by the end of most days. He wasn't diabetic, and his basic circulation exam didn't show anything urgent, but the pattern was clearly affecting his comfort and his sleep. When we went through his day, it became clear he was sitting for nearly 6 hours at a stretch most afternoons, watching television or reading without getting up. We picked 4 habits from a list very similar to this one: an hourly walking break using a simple kitchen timer, evening leg elevation for 20 minutes, a daily calf stretch routine, and a conscious effort to stay ahead of his hydration instead of waiting until he felt thirsty. Nothing else changed. Same diet, same medications, same overall routine otherwise. Within about 6 weeks, Walter reported his evening swelling had noticeably decreased, and his feet weren't nearly as cold by bedtime. Small, consistent movement, reintroduced into a day that had quietly become very sedentary, made a real difference. What to do this week? Yin. Set an hourly reminder on your phone or a kitchen timer to prompt a short walking break. 2. Add a 15 to 20 minute leg elevation session to your evening routine. Build a simple calf stretch into your morning or evening alongside a few ankle circles. 4. Add beets or citrus to your grocery list this week and work them into 2 or 3 meals. 5. If you deal with regular swelling, cold feet, or numbness, mention it to your doctor at your next visit. These habits support circulation, but persistent symptoms deserve a proper evaluation. A necessary disclaimer. This video is for general education, not personal medical advice, a diagnosis, or a treatment plan. Circulation problems can have a range of underlying causes, some of which need direct medical evaluation. Sudden swelling in one leg, one-sided pain or discoloration, or sudden numbness are symptoms that deserve prompt medical attention rather than home habits alone. If you're considering compression socks and have an existing circulation-related diagnosis, check with your doctor about the appropriate compression level first. Before you go, if breaking down the actual reasoning behind each of these habits, instead of just handing you a list, was useful to you, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. I publish a new video like this every week. And if someone in your life spends long stretches sitting during the day, whether by habit or necessity, send them this video. A simple habit today really can mean better circulation tomorrow.